So Lincoln County, New Mexico, at this point in time was run by a kind of cartel that was known as the House. The guys who are in charge, and David, it's going to shock you when I tell you that these men were corrupt. In this case, was led by ex-cavalry officers, and they were backed by a bigger cartel, a crony capitalist cartel known as the Santa Fe Ring, which basically controls New Mexico. There is a federal force in the area that was sent by the U.S. government with a nominal kind of oversight. And that federal force was several units of African-American cavalrymen who were known as Buffalo Soldiers. The nickname actually came from indigenous people, right, who are likening African-Americans to the buffalo. But you need to remember when we think about that nickname that, of course, for indigenous people, the buffalo are revered.
Yeah, they're sacred.
They're sacred. Some of them put it in their coats of arms. It was literally a badge of honor. And the Buffalo Soldiers were instrumental in moving New Mexico and Arizona into statehood. Now, it's worth asking the question of why the U.S. government sent African-American soldiers to oversee the Southwest. And the answer is, as it always is Jim Crow. Because white Southerners don't want armed Black soldiers anywhere near them. We're talking about how this is the aftermath of the Civil War. And we were talking in our story about the NRA about how much violence in the post-war South was actually driven by the desire to disarm Black people. So the idea that they would accept the authority of armed Black soldiers it was absolutely unthinkable to them. But the army was underpopulated. So they sent the Buffalo Soldiers southwest, where it sort of didn't matter, where they'd be out of the sight of the white population who would be made anxious by armed Black people. And they could be sent there to try to force the Native Americans onto the reservations and to kind of try to keep things quiet between Anglos and Hispanic communities. But at the end of the day, the federal government was kind of shrugging its shoulders. If the Buffalo Soldiers couldn't do it, well, too bad.